Hello everyone, welcome to this journey into the world of game creation. My name is Vasilis Dimitrakas and today we will explore how games are made, what technologies are involved, the various professions in the industry and much more. Whether you are an aspiring game creator or simply curious about how your favorite games are built, this video will give you a comprehensive overview. In this section, you will have access to a continuously growing library of educational materials designed to guide you through every aspect of the game development process. Whether you are just starting out or looking to master advanced techniques, we're committed to helping you achieve your goals, support your learning every step of the way, and empowering you to create, innovate, and excel in game development. From the basics to the most advanced techniques, you will find everything you need to grow and succeed in this dynamic field. The idea and script. Everything starts with an idea. Developing a game requires creativity and organization from the beginning. You need to think about the story, the characters, and the gameplay. Creating a good script is the foundation of a successful game. The script essentially determines how the game will evolve and what its main features will be. You need to ask yourself the following: what is the plot of your story? Who are the main and secondary characters? And what is the environment and atmosphere of the game? Start by creating an interesting plot that will keep players engaged. It can be an epic story of saving the world, a personal adventure, or a series of mysteries to be solved. Next, develop strong and memorable characters. Think about the protagonists, the antagonists, and the secondary characters. Each character should have their own personality, goals, and challenges. Essentially, you want players to relate to their characters, and this way they will be more engrossed in the game. Finally, you can design the world of your game. It could be a fantasy world, a science fiction, or even a world based on reality. Describe the environment, culture, and history of your world through various models that always have your personal touch and highlight your idea with documenting your imagination. I want to also give you some advices that may help you out to think about the idea of your game. You can keep a notebook to record your ideas that come to your mind. You never know when inspiration might strike. Research the type of games that interests you. Play games you like and analyze what makes them successful. Discuss your ideas with friends and colleagues. Collaboration can bring new perspectives and improve your idea. And lastly, don't be afraid to experiment with different plots and characters. Try various approaches until you find the one that satisfies you. With these guidelines, you can create a strong idea and an exciting script for your game. Developing a game is a journey of creation and imagination, and each step of the process is an opportunity to express your unique vision. Game design. After the central idea comes game design. Game design is a critical phase in game development and involves creating the graphics, sound, and overall appearance of the game. Let's explore the different aspects of game design. Graphics. Graphics are the first impression a player has of your game and are crucial for the overall experience. They are divided in two categories, 2D and 3D. 2D graphics are mainly used in platform games, puzzles, and many other genres. The tools used to create 2D graphics include Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator as the main programs in the gaming industry. To start, you can experiment with simple designs and improve your skills. The more you design, the better you will become. 3D graphics offer a more realistic and impressive experience. Blender is the most popular tool for creating models, while Maya and 3ds Max are also excellent tools. To start, you need to learn the basics of 3D modeling, such as creating polygons and textures. Then, you can create simple objects and gradually move on to more complex models, such as creating characters. Sound. Sound is just as important as graphics for the player's experience. It essentially includes music and sound effects. The game's music sets the atmosphere and can affect the player's mood and feelings. Various tools are available for composing music and recordings, with FL Studio being the most widespread. To start, you can explore different music genres and find what suits your game. You can learn the basic of composition or music production, or even use ready-made pieces from other artists. Sound effects add realism to the game. Audacity is a free and easy to use tool for editing sound, while F-Mode is a professional tool for creating and integrating sound effects into games. With these tools, you can create a variety of sound effects for different actions and situations. However, you need to pay great attention to detail to ensure that the effects sound naturally and realistic. Animation. Lastly, the movement or animation of characters and objects is vital for the liveness and dynamics of your game. Like graphics, animation is divided into 2D and 3D. 2D animation involves moving the images or sprites you have created. Tools such as Spine and Adobe Animate are ideal for creating animations. You can start with basic movements like walking and jumping and move on to more complex movements. 3D animation offers more realistic movements and expressions. The programs for creating graphics such as Blender, Maya and 3ds Max are also powerful tools for creating animations. By experimenting, you can learn the basic principles of movement and expression or use other free tools like Mixamo to create character movements much faster. In conclusion, game design is a multidimensional field that combines art, sound, and movement to create a complete and exciting experience. With the right tools and your creativity, you can make games that impress and inspire players. Practice and explore various techniques to find the style and approach that best suits your vision. Programming. Once the initial design is finished, programming is the next step to bring your game to life. The most common engines for creating games are Unity Engine and Unreal Engine. Many companies use their own graphic engines, but by knowing these two, you can create anything you want with persistence and creativity. Unity uses the C# programming language and is very beginner friendly, as it has a large community of game creators with a lot of support. To start programming in Unity, you can learn the basic data structures and algorithms by writing small scripts and watching basic tutorials on game creation, thus familiarizing yourself with the platform's basic philosophy. Unreal Engine, on the other hand, is a very powerful game engine and is mainly used for high-quality games. It uses C++ for programming, but also visual scripting, which is a much easier approach to creating mechanisms without using code. As with Unity, you can explore various tutorials online and delve deeper with programming with more complex systems. Games programming is a process that requires knowledge of various programming languages to use game engines. With dedication and practice, you can develop your skills and create anything your imagination can conceive. Testing and updating. Once you are satisfied with the above, you need to ensure your game functions correctly. Testing its mechanism or change in the game is crucial. You need to play your game many times and look for any issues. You can ask friends or other developers to play your game and provide additional feedback. Finally, and most importantly, you need to adjust the difficulty of the game. A game that is too easy can become boring to players, and a game that is too difficult can frustrate them and eventually make them give up. Essentially, you need to improve the mechanism and ensure the game is enjoyable and runs without errors. After fixing the bugs, you can release various updates that improve the game or add extra content, thus keeping the players' interests alive. Release and marketing. Finally, it's time to release your game. Proper release and promotion are essential for your game's success. First, you need to think about which platforms you want to distribute your game. For PC, the most popular are Steam and Epic Games, but there are others like GOG and itch.io. If your game is for mobile devices, you have Google Play for Android devices and iOS for iPhones. If the game is for consoles, you can publish it on the PS Store for PlayStation, the Microsoft Store for Xbox, and the Nintendo Store for Switch or other devices. For proper marketing around your game, you can create an attractive trailer and share it on social networks like Facebook, Instagram, X, etc., as well as create a website for your game in addition to the platform you distribute it. Finally, to keep players' interests high, create a community around your game, respond to comments, create forums, and organize events to keep players engaged. Learning time. Learning game development can vary depending on your experience level, available time, and resources. Let's take a detailed look at what your journey might look like. Initially, you will need to acquire basic knowledge in programming and game design. As mentioned earlier, you can start with C# for Unity or C++ for Unreal Engine. A suggested time is 1 or 2 months to learn the basics of programming languages by watching tutorials and applying them to your own games or searching the internet for various official resources to meet your needs. Then you can develop more complex programming techniques such as data management, character development, and code optimization. 2 to 3 months is a good period to delve into these advanced techniques. Additionally, you can collaborate with others to create a more complex game. Collaboration helps you create from others and improve your skills. 1 to 2 months is enough to complete a team project provided the previous steps have been methodically carried out. Finally, at a more advanced level, you will be able to develop more complex and complete games. You can create a full game from start to finish, from design, programming, level creation, and sound to final testing. This process can take 3 to 6 months to complete a more complex project. Of course, in the game industry, there is specialization in each field. Through the above process, you can focus on specific areas that interest you and specialize in a particular direction according to your preference. Game development is a continuous field of learning. Keep up with new technologies, techniques, and industry trends. Dedicate a little time each week to studying and practicing new skills. Learning game development is a process that requires time, dedication, and practice. Beginners can learn the basics in a few months, while developing a full game and acquiring advanced skills can take much longer. However, continuous learning and collaboration can help you improve and succeed in the gaming industry. Professions in the game development industry. As you understand, the game industry includes many different roles and specialties. Depending on the type of game, it is impossible to be created by just one person. Let's therefore examine some of the main professions and their responsibilities in the gaming industry. Game designer. Game designers are responsible for creating the idea and the game itself, which is essentially the first stage mentioned at the beginning of the lesson. Their main duties include developing ideas for the game and its mechanics, creating design documents that guide the game's development, and collaborating with others to ensure the game's coherence. To become a game designer, one must be creative and have the ability to think outside the box. They should understand game mechanics and market trends, and very importantly, communicate and collaborate with all team members. Programmers. As mentioned, programmers write the code that makes the game function. Their main duties are developing and maintaining the game's code, integrating graphics, sound, and other elements into the game, and lastly, identifying and fixing bugs. To become a programmer, one must have programming skills in languages such as C# and C++ and understand how various algorithms work. Artists. Artists create the visual elements of the game. Their main duties include creating characters, environments, and other objects, and collaborating with other teams to ensure visual consistency. To become a game artist, one must have drawing skills, know the tools mentioned for creating graphics such as Photoshop, Blender, or Maya, and be able to adapt different art styles required for each game, whether in 2D form or 3D form. Animators. Animators essentially bring characters and objects to life with movement. Their main duties include creating movement for characters and objects, ensuring that movements are smooth and realistic, and lastly collaborating with other teams to integrate movements into the game. To become an animator, one must understand the movement of various objects and characters, know tools like Maya and Blender, and pay great attention to detail. Sound designer. Sound designers are responsible for the sound effects and music of the game. Their main duties include creating and editing sound effects, composing and producing music for the game, collaborating with other teams to integrate sound into the game. To become a sound designer, one must have the ability to record and edit the sound, know various sound production tools like Audacity and F-Mode, and naturally have an artistic sensitivity. Game Tester. Lastly, game testers identify bugs and suggest improvements. Their main duties include playing the game to identify bugs and issues, reporting bugs and suggesting improvements, and constantly collaborating with programmers to solve the problems. As you understand, the game industry includes many roles and specialties, each of which plays a crucial role in creating a game. From designers and programmers to artists and testers, everyone collaborates to create games that are fun and impressive. With dedication and practice, you can find your own role in this exciting industry. Conclusion. To conclude, it would be important to mention some thoughts that might help you advance in your journey. First of all, always remember that game development is an ever-evolving field. New technologies, tools, and techniques regularly appear, so be always ready to learn and adapt. It is very important to understand that games are not created by just one person. They are the result of the collaboration of many different specialties. Learn to work in teams and appreciate everyone's advice. Furthermore, do not be afraid to think outside the box and try new ideas. Creativity is what makes games unique and memorable. As in any field, practice is essential. Also, do not be discouraged by failures. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve. And lastly, never forget the reason you are involved in games. If you enjoy creating, then players will also enjoy playing your games. So in order to close this introduction, I want you to think about your favorite game. What makes it so special? How would you feel if you could create something equally amazing? This potential is in your hands. With hard work and dedication, you can make games that will be loved and remembered for years. This journey may be difficult, but it is also incredibly rewarding. The satisfaction of seeing your ideas come to life on the screen and bringing joy to others is priceless. Never stop dreaming and creating. The future of the game industry depends on you. Whether you want to learn game development or animation or sound design, we have you covered. Join TechTitans on this exciting adventure into game design, and we will make your learning journey fun and easy. Let's build something amazing together.